I'm back.
What's up, guys? Chad back at you. I got another review for you with Derelict Vapor Reviews. This time I got the EHPro Pontus version 1.5. But so far I wanted to go ahead and say that this thing is pretty awesome. If you are big into tanks, not trying to have to keep pulling your top cap off, dripping into your dripper every once in a while or every 5-10 hits or so, this thing's pretty sweet. I'm not going to say that it delivers an unbelievable Mutation X, Tobe, or Zenith, or Plume Veil style vape, but it definitely puts out, to me, like a dripper. Now, I fiddled around with this thing for quite some time. I had it for about a week and a half, and I put probably 15 or 20 different builds in it. I probably did 2 a day in it. And it took me a little while to get it exactly how I like it. But right now I've got it at 0.7 ohms, and that's pushing 30 watts on my DNA 30. This is a Canna mod. And I mean, I absolutely love it. I've been carrying this thing around with me, and it's nice and easy. I don't have to fill it but maybe twice a day. It's got a nice sized tank on it. It's really solid. The construction on it's really good. I haven't had any issues with it. It's not going to put out the vapor that some kind of huge dripper is going to put out for you. But if you're looking for something that's convenient, that you can take to work with you, that you're not going to have to keep pulling the top cap off and dripping, or if you're walking around town and you're not trying to have to make a pit stop to pull out your bottle and drip into your dripper, then this thing is actually pretty nice and pretty convenient. The airflow is definitely going to be a little bit airier. Actually, I should say much airier than what, say, a K-Fun or some sort of tank, rebuildable tank is going to put out for you. I'm actually pretty impressed with it. I think they're making huge strides in the right direction, and this thing's authentic. I got it for 50 bucks. I'm going to go ahead and put a link to the website that I got it on. That was vividsmoke.com. Other websites are selling it for 40 bucks, but for an authentic atomizer, I think it's awesome, actually. I'm going to go ahead and take it apart, break it down, show you guys everything that how it's all put together and what the deck looks like. It's basically, to me, I feel like it's if you took a Tobe and then put it together with a K-Fun and then made the airflow a lot better. Now, also, one other thing, I've noticed that I get a lot better performance out of my box mod. On a mechanical mod, I'm sure it would be good at a lower ohm build, but I just feel like it puts out better if I run it at not crazy sub ohm, but push the wattage up pretty high. Push the volts up pretty high. Right now it's at 4.5 volts. That's not anything crazy, but it does the trick for me. So I'm going to go ahead and take this thing apart and break it down for you, show you what it's all about, show you how I built on it, and then we'll talk about it at the end. Alright guys, so here we go. Got everything broken down in front of me. And I'm going to show you everything that it came with for me. So, came in a typical EHPro box. If you've never bought anything from EHPro before, they all kind of look the same. This one's blank on the front. Sometimes I see EHPro. Pretty simple, nice padding on the inside. Protect everything. Pretty standard stuff. So, alright. You got extra Pyrex tank. That's pretty nice, just in case you break the one that it came with. This is going to be the top of the tank. And the way this works, basically, so you're going to take it and you push down on that button right there. You see that push down? And that's going to move that down. And that is going to go ahead and push your liquid from the tank into this atomizer deck. Now, this is going to be your top cap for what your atomizer is. And the way you put it together is pretty simple. So, take your Pyrex tank, stick it right on here. Take your top, right there. Slides right into there. And there's threading on that chimney portion right there at the bottom. You just want to get that to catch and just tighten her down. Nothing too crazy, nothing complicated. Now, another reviewer, who shall not be named, said in his review that the button top to get the juice to feed down into the actual atomizer was sticking for him. Now, I don't have that problem. I actually am really enjoying this atomizer. I haven't had a single real issue with it. I put max VG juice in it all day long, and it feeds right down from that tank into the actual atomizer deck, no problem. So, again, you push it down, you see how that little button top goes down, and that's just going to push some juice right down into your juice well. Okay, so that's going to be the inside portion of the barrel. You see where that Phillips head screw is? That's your fill hole. So you're going to unscrew that bad boy and then go ahead and just stick your needle in there. I can actually just use the tip of a regular juice bottle, even a plastic juice bottle, and it fits in there fine. Those two little channels sticking down, that's where your juice is going to feed from. I'm going to fill it up and show you how that works as well. So this is your deck. I went ahead and left my build on there because I wanted to show you guys what it was all about. I actually modified mine, and I wanted to say that at the beginning of this. So this normally is basically like a Tobe deck. So there's going to be two posts on either side, and that's going to be your airflow control. So the way it works is, imagine that there are two posts, and I'm going to put a picture of this into the video as well. So if there was a post right there where that coil is, you can basically block off your airflow by twisting it in either direction. Now, I actually just like to run this thing wide open because, yes, that chimney right there is not super huge. You're not going to get insane airflow from this thing, but it's definitely not tank airflow. I think it definitely has a dripper feel to it, much more than it has a tank feel to it, which I really like because it gives me the ability to carry around a tank with me, not have to drip all the time, but still get a drip experience, still get that dense, flavorful, mildly warm vape. It does put off a semi-cool vape, and I believe it's because the way that chimney system is, it kind of cools off as it gets to the top. But other than that, I think it's an awesome little setup. So what I did on mine is I actually milled off those posts for the adjustable airflow because I wanted to do centered coils just so I could get direct airflow onto those coils. But those of you that are into rebuildables, which I'm sure you are if you're watching this video, it's just like a Tobe deck. I actually tested it, fits right on a Tobe deck because I have a Tobe deck sitting here in my house. So either way, so I'm going to go ahead and go juice this thing up, show you how the juice drip system works, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it together and then vape on it. Alright guys, so there it is, all wicked up. And I wanted to say too, that before I milled those posts off, it was just like a Tobe. It was no different at all. So the airflow was just as good. I personally just like doing center coils. I like the way the air goes over the entire coil. I feel like it puts out a little bit better of a flavor. But if you're familiar with the Tobe, which everyone in the vaping community is familiar with the Tobe, you'll know that the Tobe is a great atomizer, puts out great flavor, and absolutely chucks the vapor. Alright, so there's my tank, filled it up, banana split, delicious, got it from 970 Vapes. If you haven't checked them out yet, you should check them out. They have max VG juice as well as 50/50 juice, and it's all online, and you can mix and match your flavors or whatever you like. Anyway, so see those two little needle points sticking down? Again, that's going to be where your juice comes out. So if I push the button, boom, there's a drop of juice. Boom, oh, didn't push it all the way. Boom, there's a drop. And I figured out that for just about every time I push it, you get about one drop of juice out of each channel. And then you'll see the bubbles go up to the top. Now, I just did this for demonstration because, again, another fellow reviewer on the internet said that his wasn't producing enough juice coming out of it. Mine absolutely puts it out fine. I have no issues with it. I figure for me, I want to put about between 6 to 8 drops on it at this build that I'm running it on, so I don't overjuice. And so I push it about 3 to 4 times before I start vaping on it. And it absolutely works totally fine. So I'm going to put it together. We're going to go back up to the top camera and vape on it, and then that'll be it. Alrighty then, so there you have it. That's my review. That's everything broken down. That's the actual atomizer deck itself, how the tank works, how you fill it, all that jazz. Now, I wanted to say, I put together this review really quickly. And one, I did that because, again, another fellow reviewer, very popular, and I don't mean to hate or put anything out on you, you know who you are because I'm putting this into your comments, put a video out on it, and I honestly almost felt offended, like it was a personal attack on my little dripper, because I don't have enough money to throw out $120 to get a big dripper, some experimental RDTA, you know, some new idea, like would come back and end up being like the 3D, just some total piece of junk. And I ended up getting this. Now on Vapor DNA, 40 bucks, authentic RDTA, something new, something different, something I would say experimental and kind of revolutionary in the idea. I mean, I think it's a huge step forwards in the vaping community, especially the dripping community, the people that want that dense, flavorful, full-bodied vapor that they're going to get from it. So I'm going to vape on it really quick. Same build that I had on it before, same vapor that I was using before, same juice. It's 100% VG. And again, it's not huge. I'm not talking about some crazy cloud chasing, insane dripper tank, but it does what I need it to do when I'm on the go. Absolutely. Now, if you've got $120 and you can sit around and wait for a big dripper, absolutely go for it. I've heard rave things about the big dripper. I've heard it's an absolutely killer tank slash dripper idea, something new again. But for me, I'm going to stick with my little Pontus. I think this thing is awesome. I absolutely have so far had no problems with it whatsoever. Took me a little fiddling with it. I wouldn't recommend this for somebody who's new to building coils. It definitely took me a little while to refine it, but now that I got the build on it that I like, I absolutely love this thing. So, with that said, I'm going to show you really quick. If I push that button down, see that bubble go up right there? I'm going to do it one more time. Yeah, there's another bubble. That's one drop going down, and then replacing it with air into the tank. And to me, puts out a pretty nice vape, guys. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Have yourselves a good evening.